If you're tired of the same gathering of games, I'll make this as plain as rain by saying that I've got the scoop on this week's new releases to the Desura service. This week we've got mysteries, blocks, and dead bodies that talk to keep you riveted to your seat, so sit on down, rest on up, and let's get to it. Welcome to this week's episode of Desura's Weekly Release Highlights. It's time to rock the block with explosive results in Tsunomo's new puzzle painter, Pedra. Take control of a block which chalks itself up as a polygonal Picasso and callously attempt to turn all the other blocks to your color. Sound too simple? Well, to make a difference, let's sum up a few of the hazards that'll be in your way. Explosives, reversal blocks, and strange architecture have all joined forces to create tile sets which are dead set on saying red yet regardless of your efforts. If Pedra's got you grabbed by the cubes, then spin on over to Desura to get the game for $2.49 on the Windows operating system. When a bad guy haphazardly happens to name his lair the LootCastle, it's a little bit difficult to feel bad for the guy when the good guys come looking for what he's cooking. A tower defense game in which players are set against the never-ending hordes of eye-roll-inducing do-gooders. Plan your skeletal squads and allocate your skills into the shape of a tree to give yourself the best hope of keeping your ill-begotten gold. Available for $6.99, the LootCastle can be purchased for the Windows operating system this week through the Desura service. Being the last man alive in the universe gives you a bit of a leg up in the dating pool, but unfortunately it also means that everyone else is dead as dirt. Besieged and besmashed by an alien menace, the human race is down to a single integer, and bearing that in mind, it's time for one to be the loneliest number upside the ET's heads, assuming their physiology even has those in the first place. A side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, which would have felt right at home inside a Neo Geo cabinet, Power Up releases this week to the Desura service, urging players to partake in the most important of virtues, murdering everyone who has ever wronged you. Using guns, bombs, and a custom paint job, gamers can get into the fray with pulse-pounding action and giant death robots. Available now for $2.99, Power Up is compatible with the Windows operating system. Living life with the goal of making $1 million and buying a Sega Dreamcast seems pretty awesome until you realize that trees everywhere are suffering for your digital entertainment. Evopollution begins with just such a premise, urging players to invoke a personal age of mammon while simultaneously avoiding the ecological fallout of your digital indiscretions. Place oil derricks, factories, and other industrial equipment historically fueled by the tears of the less fortunate and balance their ecological impact by planting trees to stave off the inevitable global collapse of resources. Available now for $4.99, Evopollution can be purchased for the Windows operating system. What sounds like where I spent my time formulating a grad thesis is actually the newest dungeon crawling, dice rolling, stat pumping extravaganza from Pai Fu, Paper Dungeons. Take control of an intrepid hero with gold on the brain and dance to the refrain of monstrous murder as you level through multiple game modes, dice sets, and maps and make your way towards victory. Packing a charming aesthetic that will seduce you if you let it, and more content than you can shake a stick at, although that seems kind of fruitless logically, Paper Dungeons is waiting for you. Paper Dungeons can be purchased for $14.99 today. Enter the world of a girl trapped in a coma and attempt to help her reach the end of her afflictions in Dreaming Sarah. A platformer at its core, Dreaming Sarah takes players through numerous surreal localities and forces Sarah to deal with weird wonders and creepy critters on her way back to the land of the real. For those lacking sleep as of late, take a chance, jump on into a coma, and invite the adventure that awaits. Dreaming Sarah is available for the Windows operating system and can be purchased for $6.99. If your quota for touching dead bodies has been feeling a tad underwhelming lately, Kansei releases this week to the Desura service, promising all the necrotic contact that you would ever want. Putting gamers into the galoshes of a teenager with the power to relive the last moments of any corpse that he touches, you must now use this extraordinary gift to work your way through a mystery with far-reaching consequences. With hand-drawn art and investigations galore, each chapter will leave you wanting more as you attempt to make connections and find direction to solve the case. Compatible with the Windows, Mac, and Linux operating systems, Kansei can be purchased through the Desura service for $13.99. My reserve's all gone, so we'll say so long to this week's episode of Desura's Weekly Release Highlights. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay in the know about what's on the low in the gaming industry. And if you just can't get enough content, check out our website to flesh out all those little details you might want to collect about the games in this week's episode. As always, thank you for joining us here at Desura's Weekly Release Highlights. We look forward to seeing you next week, and take care, everybody.